In the summer of 2024, a video surfaced that changed everything. A man in a hotel room speaking into a camera days before his arrest. He's telling his lawyers, "We're losing." Those 6 words would mark the beginning of the end for one of hip-hop's most powerful moguls. This is the story of Sean "Diddy" Combs, the rise of his empire, and how a decades-old feud became the catalyst for his exposure. Sean Combs built Bad Boy Entertainment into a cultural juggernaut. He discovered the Notorious B.I.G., launched Mary J. Blige, shaped the sound of an era. But beneath the glittering surface, according to federal prosecutors and civil lawsuits, ran a darker pattern of behavior stretching back decades. In November 2023, Cassie Ventura, Combs' ex-girlfriend of 10 years, filed a lawsuit alleging rape, trafficking, and physical abuse. Within days, they settled for an undisclosed amount, but the legal dam had cracked. According to court documents and victim testimonies, Combs allegedly ran what he called freak-offs, days-long, drug-fueled sex marathons that he would film and later use to blackmail participants into compliance. On September 16, 2024, federal agents arrested Combs in Manhattan. According to the federal indictment, he ran a criminal enterprise involving forced labor, coercion, and sex trafficking. He pleaded not guilty to all charges. But here's where the story takes a sharp turn. For over 2 decades, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson and Diddy had feuded. It started in 2006 when 50 released a diss track suggesting Diddy knew about Notorious B.I.G's murder. Then came the vodka wars, business competition, mutual disrespect aired publicly. But according to 50 Cent, this wasn't personal revenge. It was something deeper. As Combs sat in jail awaiting trial, 50 Cent did something unprecedented. He executive produced a documentary for Netflix. Sean Combs' The Reckoning, released on December 2, 2025, is a 4-part investigation into the allegations against Diddy. Director Alexandria Stapleton and 50 Cent worked together to tell a story that had been building for months. But the documentary included something extraordinary. Never-before-seen footage of Combs in early September 2024, recorded just days before his arrest. In the footage, Diddy is strategizing with his legal team about jury manipulation. He's telling his attorney, Mark Agnifilo, to find someone who deals in the dirtiest of dirty business of media and propaganda. He's instructing them to target potential jurors on Instagram and TikTok. The footage showed something more revealing. Combs hugging fans in Harlem, smiling for the camera. Then, once back in his SUV, he asks for hand sanitizer. He laughs about needing a hot bath. This moment, captured by his own videographer, revealed exactly what 50 Cent had been saying for 2 decades. According to 50 Cent's public statements, this moment shows you his character. When asked why he made the documentary, 50 Cent was clear. According to his interview with NBC News, he said, "If I didn't say anything, you could assume that all of hip-hop culture is comfortable with his actions." No one said anything. He characterized it not as revenge, but as accountability. If it's one person's decision, one person's behavior, it's not the entire culture's behavior. On July 2, 2025, after an 8-week trial, Judge Arun Subramanian found Combs not guilty of the more serious charges, racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking. But he was convicted on 2 counts of transporting individuals for prostitution, violations of the Mann Act. On October 3, 2025, Combs was sentenced to 50 months in federal prison. That's 4 years and 2 months. A $500,000 fine. 5 years of supervised release. Prosecutors had pushed for 11 years. The judge imposed 50 months. Combs is currently incarcerated at Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institution in New Jersey. His expected release date is May 2028. What's critical to understand is that the jury did not find him guilty of racketeering or sex trafficking, the most serious charges. But they did find him guilty of paying for commercial sex. Bank records showed Combs paid for sex workers to fly across the country for the freak-offs. The jury ruled that was a federal crime. The documentary shows testimony from victims. It includes handwritten journal entries from Kirk Burroughs, Bad Boy Entertainment's co-founder, documenting what he witnessed. It shows interviews with trial jurors explaining how they reached their verdict. It presents evidence that prosecutors couldn't fully utilize at trial. What's remarkable is how this unfolded. A decades-old hip-hop feud evolved into a cultural reckoning. One rapper's documentary became evidence of another's downfall. And the footage that brought it all together came not from authorities, but from Combs' own camera. Footage that his own videographer released when hired as a fill-in for 3 days. 50 Cent has stated repeatedly that this is not about winning an old beef. It's about sending a message to an industry. Accountability matters. Culture matters. Speaking up matters. Today, Sean Combs is serving his sentence. He's filed an appeal of both his conviction and his sentence. His legal team is pursuing options. He requested a pardon from President Trump in October 2025. But the cultural moment has shifted. The documentary has been watched by millions. The trial transcripts are public record. The story is documented. This is what happens when one of the most powerful men in entertainment meets consequences. And it took a rival producer with a camera and a conscience to bring it to light. Comment below. Do you think the documentary changed how people view this case? Or was it just confirmation of what insiders already knew? Share your thoughts. Subscribe to Ike Mafuna History TV, because we document the stories the industry tries to bury. The real narratives behind the headlines, where power collides with accountability.